All right, next up, we've got an avid snowboarder. You've probably seen him on a slope somewhere in Big Sky. And oh yeah, he's also the marketing and events manager of the Town Center Owners Association. Erik Morrison, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Brandon and Joe, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So we've officially entered phase 2. As the marketing and events manager of the TCOA, can you describe the current pulse of the community? What are you hearing?
Honestly, the pulse or vibe of the community from our partners and a lot of the businesses that we're talking to is kind of it goes across the entire spectrum, to be quite honest. I think everybody feels overall pretty safe for now, for all of us who've been here, who quarantined, and who did an amazing job in making the sacrifice and flattening the curve. I think amongst ourselves in our community, in our region, people feel good. People are pretty freaked out about phase 2 reopening and what that means for Big Sky for sure. And depending on who you talk to, some are advocating for much harder hardline restrictions, and others are definitely not taking this seriously.
So discussing, safety precautions, the TCOA, along with a wealth of other community organizations, recently launched the Stay Safe, Stay Open, Stay Strong campaign. Can you describe the considerable donation that the campaign received?
Sure. So I guess we've actually received a couple of different donations. The first and foremost would be just time and resources. This community is amazing. When things come up and we have big issues to solve, people rally and they come together, and community organizations come together and visit Big Sky, the Chamber, Lomond Lands, Roxy's. Everybody's been coming forth and putting forth a ton of time and energy, design work, obviously a lot of physical resources like what Candace described with the COVID care packages that went out to all the businesses, not just in Town Center, but all over the community. Those were, that's substantial. Another thing that's been kind of a big donation that we saw was the Montana Mass. So there's this gentleman, Will McCollum, who he lives up here for part of the year and in Denver part of the year, and he wound up getting quarantined here. And during the quarantine, kind of got to see a different side of Big Sky, got to see the fabric of our community, and was really touched by it. And we kind of became COVID buddies over this time. And when I talked to him a little bit about this campaign and what we were doing, he wanted to give back to Big Sky that kind of has taken care of him during this time. So he wound up helping us to purchase through the Moonlight Community Foundation thousands of Montana masks. So they're Montana-made PPEs from Spark R&D down in Bozeman. And we're going to be giving those out to all the frontline workers, EMS, hospital, et cetera. And honestly, anybody in Big Sky who wants them while supplies last, kind of as a backstop in case we do have a significant event here in the spike. We can't say that these masks are better than the KN95 masks, but they do have a really good seal. They're similar technology, little tweak on the design, and it was a really kind donation for sure.
Yeah, it's a fantastic story. So staying on the topic of the campaign, how will the Town Center Owners Association measure the success of any goals that have been determined?
Well, the success is pretty much going to be measured with three things: our ability to keep Big Sky local hospitalizations of COVID-19 cases to a minimum within the capacity of Big Sky Medical Center in our region. Ideally maintain 0 Big Sky local COVID-related deaths, and doing all of this while we can keep our borders and our businesses open for the summer season, basically through the 1st of October.
Yeah, absolutely. So, being involved with Town Center and so many businesses in the area, what do you believe are Big Sky's key factors of a safe reopening that will eventually allow us to return to normal day-to-day life?
that's going to really rely upon like what Candace was talking about with us walking the walk. You know, like we need as a community for this to really be effective. We need to be vigilant in our own efforts of all the things that we're asking of everyone. So the masking, the social distancing, sanitization, the consistency of that is going to be vital for us to get any adoption from the second homeowners and the destination tourists.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a collective effort if we're going to continue to progress.
One other thing, in regards to that, I'd also say the consistency in our messaging, and that's not just in the messaging that we put out around the campaign, and what you're going to see for signage around town, or maybe in an ad or on social, but the consistency in the message that each of us carries with us and brings into our community. So I would like to see all of us to be empowered to be able to say, this is what we're doing, this is what I do, this is why, and to raise the level of awareness for people who are coming here who don't be harsh on them, just invite them to be part of this campaign, because we need their buy-in. We need them for many reasons for this to succeed.
Yeah, it's an all-inclusive deal. So this one's a 2-for-1 deal. What is your greatest hope as well as your greatest fear as a statewide reopening process continues to ramp up?
Oh man. My greatest hope obviously would be for us to hit our goals that we talked about. But honestly, beyond that, my greatest hope would be for us to take the collaboration and the mobilization of resources of what we've been able to do with COVID, just within our community, and to see that applied to other greater challenges within our community moving forward. Like it really is amazing what we've been able to do in such a short period of time. I would love to see those same strategies applied to Big Sky's other wicked problems.
Awesome. All right, Eric. Well, that is all I had for questions for you, but we do have one question from the audience. This one comes from Janelle. Eric, is there a website that describes the current projects that are underway in the town center and anticipated completion dates?
In part, we have our landing page. It has some information about that, and it will be updated with more things as they come. I'm happy to drop it into the feed for anybody who'd like it.
Awesome, perfect. Well, thank you, Eric. We appreciate your time today and for joining us and discussing everything that you have to do going on in Town Center.